Welcome to Joburg Today. I'm Danica Lilliland. For Joburgers who enjoy extreme sports, particularly climbing, there is a new haven for you adrenaline junkies. City Rock Johannesburg recently opened its doors and Sam went to find out more.
City Rock Johannesburg is Joburg's biggest and newest climbing facilities. With climbing on the rise in South Africa, City Rock provides South African climbers with a place to train, learn, and enjoy their sport.
City Rock is a world-class indoor rock climbing gym that we've just opened in Randburg. On a regular basis, we will be offering intro courses every night and on weekends. I've got 124 top anchors here. We've got 9 automatic belays. We've got a huge bouldering area. We'll have 2 or 3 yoga classes every night. We've got coffee. The list is endless.
I think it's bigger than I have ever been, so that's good. Like even now there's so many people, but still you can find the routes we want to do. And we have been here maybe 1 hour and we already did maybe 6 routes.
My favorite thing would be the fact that there's a lot of people, but it's there's not like lines to climb.
The biggest challenge as always was training off season, obviously when it's raining and everything like that. And this is now ideal because you can get height and there's a lot of routes open, so it's ideal. It's perfect.
New wall, new experience, eh? It's not much indoor climbing in Johannesburg, so we'll make the climbing community a lot bigger, which is great. I mean, because it's quite a small community as is, you know. So we'll definitely increase the numbers there.
Well, indoor climbing is very small in Johannesburg. Outdoor climbing is also quite small. I think City Rock Johannesburg is going to change the face of climbing in Gauteng. It's a world-class facility. Most climbers around the world, they learn to climb indoors and then they will eventually migrate outdoors. So we've also partnered with an organization called the Mountain Club of South Africa. They do outdoor climbing every weekend. They go to the Mabuse, they go to Mpumalanga. They do all these great weekend offerings that we've got on our doorstep that most people in Gauteng don't actually know about. So you learn how to climb here with us indoors, and then you venture outdoors on the weekend if you want to.
So if you're a Johannesburg climber looking for like-minded people and a place to train, or you're just interested in doing the sport, City Rock is your place to check out. I'm Samuel Gebhardt for Joburg Today.
What's good, everybody? This is Solo, and you're watching Joburg Today.
We would love to hear what you want to see on our show, so catch up with us on Facebook, joburgtoday.tv, and tweet at us at Joburg Today. If you'd like to catch our show but are on the move, then pockettv.mobi, that's pocket with an I. The South African Weather Service says Joburgers should ready themselves for a hotter and drier than usual spring and summer. Johannesburg has been experiencing higher than normal temperatures, and neighbouring Pretoria's water reserves recently ran dry, resulting in water restrictions in the Tshwane Metro.
At the moment, it is quite hot and dry over Johannesburg, and certainly over the last 2 months, these conditions have peaked. We've had 2 what we consider to be heat waves in September and October, and this has led to extremely uncomfortable conditions over large parts of the northeastern interior. The heat wave, in the purest sense, is when, for at least 3 days in a row, the average maximum temperature is 5 degrees warmer than the average maximum temperature of the warmest month. That does mean that for every town and every region in South Africa, that heat wave criteria will be different. For Pretoria, for instance, that temperature threshold is 34 degrees, and for Johannesburg it is 32. Well, we've been seeing these strange conditions of heat waves because we are in a very positive, strong phase of what is known as the El Niño effect, which influences the large parts of the southern hemisphere in terms of rainfall and average maximum temperatures. The El Niño is a phenomenon where very high sea surface temperatures to the west of South America affect the overall radiation budget of the atmosphere and the cloud formation, and that in turn influences the amount of rainfall and the amount of radiation we receive in parts of the southern hemisphere. We have to make a distinction between what is climate change and what is El Niño. So climate change can certainly affect the intensity and the frequency of phenomena like El Niño, which in turn then can lead to droughts. and to heat waves as we have been experiencing over our country. Considering that climate change and El Nino are affecting us at this stage, we are expecting, and all models are showing, that these conditions will persist into autumn. So for the northeastern interior and most parts of our country, in fact, certainly it is possible that large parts of our country could be experiencing droughts in the foreseeable future. We can't declare that as a weather service, as that is not our mandate, but we have heard reports from media and from provincial legislative bodies that dam levels are lower in some areas than expected. And we're not saying that this is the driest or the warmest season on record. It certainly could be one for the record books, but as the season progresses, we will monitor that situation. As the weather service, we do advise the public, though, that we cannot declare disaster areas. That onus falls on provincial and national disaster management, but we can advise people to use water very sparingly, and also under these conditions that felt fires are very possible and likely, so open fires must be avoided at all cost.
Hello everyone, my name is Kanyam Kanyisa and you are watching Joburg Today.
Sipo Hot Sticks Mabuse is one of the country's most respected and loved musicians. More than a musician and an artist, he's a legend.
Coming from the townships, you hear music everywhere. You hear music at school, you hear music in the streets, you hear music at weddings, at funerals. So you're basically surrounded by music. Well, my passion comes from my family, my grandfather who used to play harmonica, but mostly from my mother's side, because I had uncles who were involved in iskatamia. The most rewarding part about my career, especially music, is being able to give back, you know, to the community, to society, especially young people. And when you've made a recording and there's great response to it, it's one of the most rewarding things. I always played in a cadet band. I had assumed playing in a cadet band is going to be easy, you know, playing the whole drums. And the first time that I was presented with a drum kit, I sounded like a ship that was probably sinking with everything falling apart. But I guess I was determined. I've always considered myself a very curious musician, and I always want to learn things. And I saw this young drummer was much younger than me. You know, he was, I think, must have been about 10, playing Take 5. Wow. I mean, the audience went crazy for him. And I guess that's how I got inspired, you know, to continue practicing and eventually being called Hotstix. I grew up experimenting and experiencing with young people like Tokyo Sehwale, Sipho Nyanda, the young generation that eventually will become leaders in this country. And for me, that became catalyst in making decisions that would develop me as an adult today. I think it's important, it's critical that all of us leave this country a better place for those who will come after us. Sometimes we become so engrossed in our own personalities that we forget there are other people who live around us who probably would appreciate what we have. And it's very important that we share our own experiences with these people.
Hi, I'm Danny Glover, and you're watching Joburg Today.
That brings us to the end of our show, but for more, check out our playlists. That's it from me, Danica. Have a great weekend. I'll leave you with On My Way by Janie Bay.
Back in ETV.
Looking back, the trail is hazy, shadow cast, cloud covered. Lost all count, my steps so lazy, memoirs left behind. didn't hear my call. Wait, oh heaven save me now. You know I've said that I can't stand this place, and I'm not the only one. But now it's time that I consider this and be on my way. Went all out, I can't believe it's taken me quite this long. For I have seen it, I've been breaking, I ain't never coming back. Oh wait, I never had it all. Oh wait, oh heaven save me now. You know I've said that I can't stand this place, and I'm not the only one. But now it's time that I consider this and be on my way. You know I've said